Hi friends, welcome to Programming Made Easy. This is Santosh Avalamurthy. So today we are going to see about DDX and DDV, a very important topic when you are dealing with dialogues. So we'll be seeing what this is all about. Basically, DDX and DDV is the data exchange mechanism between control and its member variables. Before we start the session, if you are not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to the channel so that you can get more videos on the programming. Let's get started. So what is DDX and DDV? So DDX stands for Dialog Data Exchange and DDV stands for Dialog Data Validation. So DDX is the way to exchange the data between the control and the member variable. Now let's take an example. You have a dialog where you have added numerous controls. You may have many edit boxes, you may have rich edit control, you may have a combo box, you may have a IP address control, you may have a list control, like that. You can have many controls in your dialog, right? So when you add those controls, you have to associate a variable to those controls so that you can exchange the data between the control and the variable. So that is exactly what the DDX will help us to do. DDV is a way to validate the content of the control. For example, assume you have a edit box control for entering the age. We all know that age is a number. So what if the user tries to put alphabets, right? For example, I give age as ABCD. It doesn't have any meaning, right? But with DDV, we can add a validation concept where you can tell, okay, this is the field to enter the age, so it can only be number, and you cannot enter any alphabets. So with DDV, it is possible to build such validations. So where MFC will take care of the value entered in your control without writing a single line of code. So DDX and DDV are added in toDataExchange function of the dialog class. So we'll be seeing in the code where it gets added. So the DDX, they are in the form of DDX custom. Then there is a PDX, it's a pointer. Then NIDC stands for your ID of the control, and field is your member variable name. So basically you are associating a member variable to your control. When coming to the data validation, so basically again here there is a PDX pointer to your uh, data DDX and DDV, and then you have the field, and then followed by what kind of validation we need. Now update data, it's a very important function which is used in whenever we talk about DDX and DDV. So update data is the operation that does the initialization and error handling around the call to toDataExchange. Now update data is called whenever you want to exchange the data between the control and the member variable, as well as whenever the validations have to be done. So update data true or just update data, because true is the default value. So whenever you call update data true, so it stores the value entered in the control to the member variable. Like the example what we discussed, age. So suppose if I enter the value as 27, and when you do call update data, then the value entered, that is 27, will get stored into the member variable which is created for that particular control. Now when you do update data false, so the value that is in the member variable that gets set to the control. For example, the value 27 is stored in the database for a particular person or employee. So when you open that employee record, then you want to show that value in the UI. That is the time we call update data false. So the value stored in the member variable, it gets reflected in the control. When you do update data true, it's the reverse. The value entered in the control gets set to the member variable. So normally update data false is called in on init dialog function. Now what is this on init dialog? Whenever a dialog gets opened, it calls on init dialog function. So where you can add your code to show the values in the control. Now you think of a situation where we are entering for a student. We are entering the information for the student. So there some of the fields would be the default values. For example, you may have the gender as male as a default value. So normally we show the gender as either male or female. So by default, you want to set the gender as male, then we can use update data false and you assign the value to the member variable which sets the radio button of the gender, right? So that is when we call update data false. The second scenario where already the data is stored for a student and you want to see the data when you go to the particular record of the student. So that time whatever data entered for that student, like his date of birth, his first name, last name, father's name, mother name, address, communication number, blah blah blah. So many fields will be there. So you want to show the values which are set for those variables, then we go for on init dialog function. Now on init dialog, these are all the functions which are provided by default by the MFC. So that is the place where you can initialize the values for the variables and then show on the control, or the values that are stored in the database or a file, whichever is your storage medium, and you want to show the values onto the controls or to the user. That is when we use update data false and specifically in on init dialog function. Now update data true is normally called on the click of on OK button. So on OK is the default button for any of the dialog. So that is where you write the code to store the data, or you want to validate the data before storing it, then we call as update data true. So update data false is used to show the data to the control when the dialog comes up, and update data true is called when you want to store the data back to your storage medium. So some of the key points when we talk about this DDX and DDV. So there are two types of variables that can be added for a control. One is called control variable and the another one is called as data type variable. So both the type variables can be added to the same control. For example, if you have a edit box, so you can add one as a control variable, which is the of type cedit class, and you can also add variable of a certain data type depending on the data that gets entered. So if it is age, then it will be an integer value. If it is the name, then it will be a C string variable type. If you want to enter with decimals, then it can be a double or float type of variable. So again, the value type depends on the type of the data that gets entered, and then you can also add a control variable. So you can have two variables to the same control. One can be a control variable and one can be a data type variable. So the validations available are max chars, minimum value and maximum value. So the max chars is applicable whenever your data type is of type C string, and this minimum value and maximum value is available for almost all the data types like float, int, double, bool, etc., except your character related C string variable. Okay, so like for example, age. So the minimum has to be uh, 0 and maximum can be 120, not more than 120, right? So you can set the maximum value, or sometimes you have a range which is to be entered only between 0 to 1. So you can have a double data type where you are accepting the decimals, and you can set the minimum as 0 and maximum as 1. So any other value entered, it will not, the control doesn't allow for the user to enter, or if the value is entered outside this range, then the error message is given to the user, and user will not be able to store the data. So the easiest way to add DDX and DDV is through class wizard. So we'll be seeing how to add it with the help of a class wizard. So let's see how this DDX and DDV works with the help of uh, sample project. So I'm just going to create a new project here, which is obviously a dialog based application. So what we are going to do is, okay, so this is my MFC DDX DDV example. So I'm going to select the project type as a dialog based application. I'm going to finish it. So what we will do in this particular sample project, we are going to add a cedit control, and then we are going to add a combo box, and then we are going to add the member variables, and also we are going to add the validations for the edit box. Okay, so let us add these controls. So this is my edit box which I'm entering. So let's say this is is going to just add a static text, and I'm going to give it as age. Okay, and then I'm going to add a combo box where, let's say, I'm going to add standard. Okay, so it's my static text. Okay, so once you add these controls, so for the combo box, let us add some default data. Okay, so here is the data. So where I will add it as the standards as first, second, and third. So we have to separate it using semicolon. Okay. So now the data is added. So now let's see how to add the variables to these controls. The easiest way to add the control, right click on the variable, then you can say add variable. So this will open the class wizard, and here you can see you can enter the variable name. So here is the category of the variable. It can be a control variable or it can be a value type variable. Okay. So now first let us add a value type variable where you will be able to select the data type of the variable. Okay. So now since it is age field, I like to use it as integer value. So when it is integer, then you will be able to select the minimum value and the maximum value. So let us give the variable name as m underscore n age. So all the member variables should start with m underscore, and the first letter will indicate the data type. So n indicates it is an integer variable. Either you can use n or you can use I. So I will give minimum value as since it is a student management system, the minimum age is 3 and the maximum age is let's say 16. Okay. So this is so here in the same dialog I'm adding the variable as well as I'm adding the validation. So DDX as well as we have DDV in the same section here. So finish it. Similarly, you want to just add a variable to the combo box. So we'll be adding for this, we'll add a control variable here. So m underscore c standard. Okay. So here it is a control variable and it is of type control variable type, and the variable name is m underscore c standard. So when it is a control variable, you will not have any options to add the validations. They all get disabled. Okay, finish. So let me add quickly one more edit variable, edit control, to add a C string variable type, and then we'll be able to add one more validation. So add variable, so of type value, and here I want it as C string. So in case of C string, you can provide what is your maximum allowed characters. So we'll give it as 6, and my variable name is m underscore str. Okay, let me finish. So now let's see the code, what has happened here after we added the code. So this is my dialog. So this is the do data exchange function, which you can see here. Now, this is what we were talking about, the do data exchange function. So here we have DDX text. This is one which we added for the first one. If it is m underscore n age, then here is the minimum and maximum values which we set. Minimum is 3, maximum is 60. And again, this is my control variable which we added for the combo box, and then this is our second edit control where the data type is C string and the maximum allowed characters is 6. So all these variables are declared in your header file, so where you can see the variables here, and this is my do data exchange. Now let's see, we want to set some default value. So we can set the default value either as part of the constructor, or you can do it in onInit dialog function. So let us set the values for these variables here. So m underscore n age, for the age we will set the default value as, let's say, 6. And for my text, I would like to set it as test. And for the control variable standard, we want to set the default value as 1. This is the index, so 0, 1, 2, that is first, second, third, so it will be second. Now, to show the data that we have set in the variable to the control, as soon as the dialog opens, what we need to call is update data false, correct? So update data false. So now what will happen when the dialog opens? Immediately these values would be set. Now suppose now we want to see what data is entered. So that is when we can add on OK function. So let me open the dialog here, and I'd like to double click on this OK button. So on click of that, it gets added, the function gets added, that is on OK. So here I want to show what is the value that is entered into the control. I want to store it to the variable and then show it as my trace message. So for that, we need to call update data true, or you can just call as update data because default is true. Now I want to trace, or I'll just use fx message. I want to show what is the value that is entered in the text. Okay. So just compile it. And let's see what will happen. Okay. So now as soon as the dialog opens, the first function that will be called is onInit dialog. So you can see that values are already set here. So age we set it as 6, the text we set it as test, and we set the index as 1. So it starts from 0. So 0 is first, 1 is second, and the third one is 0, 1, 2. So second index is third. So it is automatically set. Now let's see the validations. Because for age, we gave the minimum is 6 and maximum is minimum is 3, maximum is 16. Now when I try to enter as 1, we'll see what will happen. Okay, so you get the error message. It says enter an integer between 3 and 6. So this is what OK is called. So now if I enter the correct value, let's say 7, then I will not get any error. Okay. So similarly, let's see the string value, because what we allowed, the maximum is 6 characters. So test message. So it doesn't allow me to enter more than 6 characters. And even if you try to copy paste, it will paste, but when you say OK, it gives the error. I hope now you are very clear with DDX and DDV how it will work. So it's very easy to add the DDX DDV into your dialog, and the easiest way is to add using the class wizard. So let's get back to the PPT. So once we do that, then gets into the interview questions. Okay. So again, DDX DDV is a very powerful concept, and definitely when they're looking about asking about dialog based applications or the dialog, so DDX DDV questions will be there for sure. So DDX, it's a mechanism of exchanging the data between the control and its member variable, and DDV is a mechanism of validating the data during the data exchange. Now, can we have custom DDX and DDV? The answer is yes, we can have custom DDX and DDV. So what is the difference between update data true and update data false? So update data true is used to exchange the data from the control to the member variable, and update data false, it's the reverse. It's used to exchange the data from the member variable to the control. Okay, maximum characters validation is applicable if the data type is integer, C string, boolean or float, and the answer is C string. So maximum characters is applicable only for C string, whereas minimum value and maximum value is applicable in case of other data types such as integer, boolean or float. Now I have a small assignment for you all to do it. So first create a dialog based application. You can add an edit box and a combo box controls. So then add default data to combo box so the data can be added under the data section, data part. It's also possible to set the values dynamically, which we'll be seeing later. But for this exercise, you can set the data as the default data under data section. So remember, you have to separate the values using semicolon. Then add the data type member variables. So then add validation for the member variable of the edit control. So depending on your data type, you can add either maximum characters or min value and max value combination. Then set the default value to the variable and call the update data function in onInit dialog to show the values that are assigned. The values that are set gets displayed once the dialog appears. Then modify the values and on OK button display the value of the variables either as message box or as a trace message. Okay. So how to give a trace message we have already seen in the previous assignments. So if you are not sure, you can just go back to my previous videos and see how to do that. So with that, we are coming to the end of the session. So I hope you like the session, and definitely we'll be seeing the next session for more information. So if you like this video, do like it, comment it, and if you are not already subscribed, please do subscribe for the channel and also share it with many of your friends who are looking to have a career in VC++ and FC. So I hope you all like the session. So see you tomorrow in the next session. I think we have covered the basics pretty much. So from the next session, we'll be starting with a small student management system project, which covers the various aspects of VC++ and MFC. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.